Hello, my name is Bailey, and for today's Fun Friday activity, I'm going to teach you at home how to make a lava lamp with just a few simple supplies. So what you're going to need for this to work is a glass cup, some vegetable oil, some different food coloring, or water, and Alka-seltzer tablets. They have to be the dissolvable kinds. So all you need to do is, I've already got this halfway set up. I filled this little glass vase up to about this much with vegetable oil, and then I added a little bit of water, so probably that much. You need less water than you do vegetable oil. Next, I'm going to take just a few drops of food coloring. I'm going to add a couple of drops of red, 4 drops of red, and then to spice things up, I'm also going to add a couple drops of blue too. Cool. So this is the basic setup right here. And before I get to the fun part that really creates this into a lava lamp, I want to stop and talk about why this works. Because as scientists, we are always asking what, why, and how questions. So the 2 scientific principles that go into making this at-home lava lamp are density and polarity. Now, polarity is the relative orientation of poles in the molecular substance, or the molecular structure of a substance. And that's way more complicated than we need to get into for the purposes of this activity. So all you really need to know is that substances can be polar or nonpolar. So oil is nonpolar and water is polar. And 2 different polar substances can mix together just fine, but a polar and a nonpolar substance cannot mix. So if you can see, we have water actually sitting at the bottom of our vase, and then the oil floats right on top. So these 2 substances cannot mix. Now the other piece of why this works is density. And density is how compact a substance is. So water is more dense than oil, and oil is more dense than air. So we have our water at the bottom, because it's more dense, and then oil floating on top. So now that you understand polarity and density a little bit, we can get to the fun part. You're going to take an Alka-seltzer tablet. I've already got this one open. And I'm going to break it up into a couple of different pieces, that way the dissolving process happens a little faster. I'm going to start with just half a tablet. And we'll add this to our lava lamp. I'll move this a little closer to the camera. And as you can see, the Alka-seltzer tablets really sets things in motion. And the reason for why the Alka-seltzer works is that the Alka-seltzer tablet, when it reaches that water, it begins to dissolve. And when it dissolves, it mixes with water to create CO2 bubbles. And CO2 is carbon dioxide, or a gas. And gas is less dense than oil and less dense than water. So those CO2 bubbles rise to the top, and once they reach the surface, they pop. And once they pop, the water, which is more dense than oil, then sinks back down to the bottom. And that is what creates the motion in our lava lamp. I hope you enjoy this Fun Friday activity, and if you decide to do this at home, first make sure you have your parents' permission before using their oil and their Alka-seltzer tablets, and please tag us at UC Davis Tahoe and #ScienceInPlace. Thanks!